Okay, we're gonna call this video. We're gonna call it Primers 101 for Warframe. And as you see here, I'm low-key today. I've been well, I'm gonna be honest. I've been playing a lot of different Warframes. It just happened I had low-key on for testing. So this is the Vitrica behind me, or on my back, and then this is the Cycron. Okay, I don't think I did a video for the Cycron yet, but primers or injectors can be any kind of weapon that injects or primes statuses so that you can kill them easier. Okay, so we'll just go in here quick, and I don't have a pet on right now. Also, the Vobophyla, that's a primer, just so you know. It's if it's set up right, it's either a viral or a corrosive. I'd have to look. I'll look in a minute. The Cycron is a really good primer. Okay, just so you know, the Cycron is probably one of the top primers in the game, I would say. The Vitrica is a really decent weapon. I did a video on it before, but the way I have it built, okay, its IPS is mainly slash, okay, and so that you know IPS. A lot of people use these lingos in Warframe and they don't explain it. It's impact, puncture, slash. For the cool people that are all nerdy like that, like me. All right, so IPS, we're going with a slash build, which is a nice 267 over 299s. Get it? Critical chance, we're up there. 5.8 multiplier, we're up there. That's really good. This Riven is slash and critical chance, and also attack speed, which I'm not a real big heavy melee guy. So I'm going to start making more videos about heavy melees, how to make them more manageable, how to work them. This is one of my favorite heavy melees in the game, just so you know. That's why it's on here right now. As you can see, Temple Royale, okay, Organ Shatter. You know, we went with the crit build. We went with the Prime Reach because Prime Reach is like multi-shot for melee. Gladiator Might, because it's the damage, right? So the crit damage. Sacrificial Steel, so we could get that up here. Blood Rush, because it'll bring you into the reds with your combo multiplier. And then Condition Overload, because even though we're not adding any statuses on this weapon, we're going to take advantage of the status system, and that's what primers do. Okay, Berserker Fury, because every time we kill, it's going to speed up. Now, Berserker Fury, I have a love-hate relationship with Berserker Fury, because the higher the enemies are, the longer it takes you to get the bonus attack. So if you're playing low levels, always use Berserker Fury almost. But in the higher levels, you can actually change it out depending with... let me show you. Quickening, okay, because quickening gives you a 20% combo chance, and it gives you more initial speed. But for this, Berserker Fury is going to work fine because I am going to kill stuff. I'll give that away. All right, so in the Cycron, one of the best primers in the game, we've got heat, radiation, and corrosive on it. Okay, but we won't be using this. I'm going to use secondary dexterity because this is the primer for my melee. I will not have a primary on. Okay, so let's first get basically a count on what it takes my Vitrica with just slash on it and crit and damage to kill 190. I think these are Orican. Let me see what they are. Heavy gunners. Orican heavy gunners, I think. All right, so let's do this. Turn invisible. Freeze them up. Start beating the heck out of them. And I'm just going to be mashing my melee button. And you see the combo multiplier on this. This is a really good weapon with a really good Riven. And we got like 1,500 here on the red. And I'll keep applying this so they don't get too far away. Just so you can get a look at what kind of damage it's doing. Look at those numbers. I got a 2,100. That's not bad. This is a great weapon. And that's without any statuses on here. We'll take note. Now I speed up because of my Berserker Fury. Because I got kills. $2,000 in the red. $6,000. And there's some I miss all the time, just so you know. Some of the, I'm not even counting the oranges, and I know some of the oranges went higher. Alright, everything's dead. There we go. But take a mental note of how long that took. Now I'm going to inject primer with the Tenet, and I'm going to inject primer with the whoops, wrong one. There we go. And I told you I'd look. So what it is most people know this viral that it's putting on there. So that way I have different statuses that'll be injected while we're playing here. Inject. $10,000 in the red. $5,000, $29,000. $6,000, $6,000. And everything's dead. So you can see that using a primer can be very detrimental when you go into the high levels and you're doing like endless survival or level capping. That's why they say crit builds tend to die out, but status can scale. But using status with crit, you can do the same thing. You could do the same thing with just a crit build and damage. The important part is having a primer and any kind of secondary or like just like the Vobophilet is a primer. Okay, so I'm going to equip a different primer right now, just so you know. And the Nucor is a really good primer. The Cycron's a really good primer. The Nucor can double as a good everything. Okay, but the Cycron, I would say, because of its ammo efficiency, that it's best to use as a primer, and it'll get you really, really far. You know what I mean? So, and that's what this video is here, is to help you out. Like here I have Big Blaster 1. I use this as a primer. Okay, and you can see here it's got corrosive blast, and it's got hardly any critical, but it's got 88 status. This will also give us a good primer, and I have a skin on this baby because the thing was ugly as fuck. So there's that. Alright, so a little bit of this, a little bit of this action. Okay, so I hope that clears up primers and injectors. It's basically an interchangeable saying here in Warframe. There's probably going to be some little Poindexter come by and say, no, technically these are all injectors. Don't call them primers. Listen. Meet me in the simulacron, big boy. Yeah, so I'm not worried about what people say. Epitaph, that's also something I use as a primer. Okay. This one has a ribbon on it, so don't worry about the ribbon, because I'm not even worried about damage. Okay, really, when I make these, I'm worried about duration on my primer, and I'm worried about status and the status types. So you want to make 3 different builds with 3 different status types for your primer. And then this one's really good because it's got heat and corrosive, okay, which is obviously going to be really good against corrupteds and Grenier. Okay, so, and this one's got 155 status, but I mean, that's just amazing. So, and secondary dexterity. The reason you put the secondary dexterity on your primer is just so that you can use your melee faster and switch back and forth, so, between weapons. But I hope that helps out, and that is Primers 101.